That was some shooting with the Traditions PA accelerator, Flintlock, and I'll take it apart here. Kind of disappointed with the results. Take the wedge out. I already loosened off these two screws, and then you just pull it apart. And yeah, it was less than satisfactory, that's for sure. You're reading where this thing's all designed to, except breech plug comes out pretty easy. You can see your touch hole liner is right there on the side. It looks like I might have over lubed it, but I'll tell you, this thing came out by hand, and that's good. Yeah, she's nice and crusty in there. Yep. Whew. Yep, that definitely smells like a muzzle loader. So cleaning it, as you can see, is not going to be very difficult, especially the barrel comes apart, breech plug comes out, and like I said, I took it apart and cleaned it before I went out to the range, and I greased this all up properly. It just had storage lube on it, so if you get one of these things, don't rely on that to keep this thing from sticking. It's not going to be enough. It's kind of odd that this doesn't line up all of a sudden. That's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna get it apart. I'm just gonna swab her out, clean her up a bit, and prepare it for next time. I'm gonna try some 777 or the Pyrex Select. I picked some of that up. Yeah. And I don't know if it's going to work any better or not. It's supposed to be really good shit, so. But, yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the way it worked with the Pyrex. Said I read the instructions, and it did not behave accordingly for some reason. But you can see how this works. There's the, I'll turn that little light on here. It's muzzle loaders. It's actually got an alignment mark that lines up with one on the barrel. There's one. I don't know if you can see that. It's right there. And that's for your touch hole. Make sure it's in the right spot. Basically, you can see that's got quite a bore in it. Where your powder would rest on this, of course. It's got an O-ring in there. Nothing got past that O-ring. It sealed very good, and I even went up to 120 grains of powder. Block of wood there to rest that on. Concrete's not good for your barrel. So, you know, unless the powder goes right down that hole, I can see why it causes grief trying to ignite. And what I was doing, and like that touch hole is huge compared to your standard one on a Flintlock, traditional Flintlock. I got another one here. Yeah, you can see that through the plastic or not. It's quite a difference. Yep. That's actually more than double. But it didn't seem to work so well. part of the problem may be the powder is not going down there. If it did, I could see it working a little better. But I had to prime the touch hole itself, so everything looks clear. I don't see anything plugged off. No. Those anti-seize grease works very well. This stuff just comes right out. Yeah, there's nothing plugged there. And you can see she's clear as a whistle. And you can see that just basically goes in 90 degrees. So unless you get a really good prime in there, that fire deck isn't lighting off a whole lot better. Well, unless, you know, it's not lighting off a whole lot better than it would in a regular flintlock. So I don't know what to tell you. I'll try some other powders. I get a feeling. The other thing I'm thinking that might work would be using Pyrex P, like something finer that'll go down that damn port. But you know, from what the instructions say, you're only supposed to use. They only mention the RS and the 2F, all the 2F equivalents. So far, not great. My next time I might take 3 powders with me. At Pyrex Select, I'll take some black powder, just 2F black powder, GoX, and I got some 2F 777 there, so see what happens. Now, getting back to this touch hole setup, I took to cleaning it and I discovered something. I went to put the pipe cleaner in there. It wouldn't go all the way through for some reason. And then when I actually looked inside, there was a sliver of metal running, kind of sticking out towards the back here. So it was actually sticking out here and it was obstructing the passageway through there. So I took the metal out and then I looked inside. I shone my bore light. It's kind of, you're not going to see it probably. Like it's shone the bore light through here and through there. And I discovered that passage was partially blocked off. And the metal, it didn't look like it was machined. Hopefully it's not supposed to be that way. I don't think it would be though. So that would pretty much explain why this thing wouldn't light off. Because I'd say a good 30%, 40% of that passage was blocked off with somewhat poor machine work. Even these threads here, they're they're pretty rough. I mean, they're obviously adequate, but they're not the smoothest cut, nicest machine stuff I've ever seen. But that would pretty much explain, hopefully, why that there was such a delay trying to get that flintlock to light off. So I guess we're going to have to give it another run with the RS. The quality control on this thing is pretty poor at best. Other than the shrapnel I found inside the touch hole passages. Look at the way that spring is sitting. The spring should be flush with this plate here. And as you can see, it's barely hanging on to the edge of that pole for the hammer there. That should be right up against this plate, and the contact here should be right inside this flat area here, but that's not the case. So now I'm going to take the damn spring off, and I know nobody's going to have one of these in stock in Canada. I'm going to have to put this upper piece in the vise and try to bend this back this way. Those two pieces on the inside line up. Okay, get that spring off. This is the part here. And this rests like that in the on the back, on the plate, action plate here. There is a groove in there, and it's got this notch here, but it's not fitting into that groove. Well, that was a piece of work trying to get that thing sorted out, but as you can see, it is lined up much better. Okay, now, as I showed you before, there's a little high spot on the spring that fits into a groove in behind this plate here. So that just a little retainer keeps that from coming out. So I had to tidy that up so this thing would actually fit flush, and give it a little tweak so this would line up much better, like you see here. So yeah, that was quite the mess. What a job getting that spring back on. There's a tool for that. I don't have it, and I'm not going to show you how I did that because I don't want anybody getting hurt. But yeah, there. And I adjusted my this screw here adjusts the sensitivity of your trigger. Yeah, much better now. Okay, I got the action all sorted out. Got a nice coating of ballast and everything. You see the wood's nice and shiny. Got all the gremlins out of the action there with that spring, and it's doing exactly what it should do now and staying put. When you take the barrel off these, you're supposed to loosen these two screws. That's so you're not clamping on the barrel or on the wood here, and you won't do any breaking or bending. So those two screws are still a bit loose. And she just falls together. And like most flintlocks, there's just a wedge holding the whole schmozzle in there. That's it. She is done. Although she seems to like making a gap. You gotta make sure you get that gap taken care of there. She slid ahead on me there. That's different. That's actually as far as that goes. Some more quality control issues. You can see there's a gap there. Put that funky light on. And it's because this piece isn't perfectly vertical. So it's not flush. So I lift it up. Fits in there perfect. As soon as I pull the barrel down into the stock, it's as good as it gets. So another fitment issue, but it obviously didn't affect the way this thing shoots. So that's it. And yes, you can dry fire Flintlock, and because the frizzen flips out of the way anyway, it comes up against the frame there, that plate. So you want to do one more thing. Is not to forget to tighten these screws, and you don't. I just stick them on like that. And you want to check that this screw, because it goes right through everything, and it comes in behind the hammer. And on some of these, I had that screw rubbing on the hammer, so. But we're good on this one. Yep, that's it. The shooting and cleaning, fixing, correcting, and finding boo-boos or screw-ups, poor workmanship, poor quality control, and adjusting the trigger. On this Traditions PA Accelerator Flintlock. It turned out to be a bit of a turd polish, didn't it?